For this question, we are going to find Haris' initial investment. The unit base is 4.2% interest per year, which is compounded every 4 months. So in this question, we are going to use formula S equals to P1 plus I to the power of N, where S is equals to 8,800 ringgit and P is the one that we are going to find. I is 0.042 over 3 equals to 0.014. So after that, we are going to substitute all the values into the formula, where it will gives you the answer of 6,851 ringgit and 72 cents, and that is Haris' initial investment.
Haris started with 8,800 and added 3,500, and the total will be 12,300. Then split this evenly between two funds, so this will be the amount for each fund. The year invested is for 7 years. For Wahid Fund, they offered 3.8% interest compounded quarterly. The M is 4 and the quarterly rate is 0.095 and the period is 28 quarters. The formula that we use for this question is formula S, and the final value is 8,014 ringgit and 5 cents. Next is for Versa Fund. They offered 4.2% interest compounded quarterly. The M is 12 and the quarterly rate is 0.035. The period is 84 quarters, and the formula that we use to find the value is formula S2, and the final value is 8,247 ringgit and 74 cents. After 7 years, both investment matured to 16,261 ringgit and 79 cents.
We are going to find which investment fund offers a better deal. So, after calculation has been made, we believe that Wahid Fund offers a better deal because of the higher interest rate. For investment, people will choose an investment with higher interest rate because it will benefit them at the end of investment.
So, following up is question 1B3. It says here to calculate the total interest earned from these investments from 2020 until 2033. For that, we will be using the formula of compound interest, which is I equals to S minus P. S, or compound amount, is 16,261 ringgit and 79 cents. Since you are calculating the interest from 2020, we will be using the initial investment of that year, which is going to be 6,851 ringgit and 72 cents, which is P, or the original principal. So, using the formula for compound interest, which is I equals to S minus P, we will just minus the two values. So, 16,261 ringgit and 79 cents minus 6,851 ringgit and 28 cents. Thus, the final answer after that will be 9,409 ringgit and 28 cents.
Lisa's parents invested 15,000 ringgit into her college fund at birth. The fund earns 3.9% interest compounded every 4 months for 18 years. So here how it works. The P is 15,000 ringgit and the M is 3 because it's started there every 4 months. The interest per period is 0.013 and the total compounding period is 54. The formula that we use for this question is formula S. So the final amount will be 30,130 ringgit and 50 cents.
In this question, 2B, we are going to find the amount of Lisa can withdraw every 4 months from her account while she's in college. The formula that we're going to use is annuity formula, where A is present value, R is the periodic payment, I is the interest rate per period, and N is the total number of periods. Since Lisa will withdraw her money for 4 months for 5 years, M will equals to 3. So N 3 times 5 will equals to 15. And then we are going to substitute all the known values into the formula, and the answer will be 2,223 ringgit 87 cents that Lisa can withdraw every 4 months for 5 years.
For this question, we will calculate Lisa's monthly payment. We are going to use formula A, which refers to present value. Value R refers to periodic payment. Value I refers to interest rate, and value N refers to term of investment. As we all know, 70,000 is equal to 100%, and Lisa makes a 12% down payment. For the remaining balance, we need to subtract 12% from 100% and multiply it with 70,000, which will lead our answer to 61,600. As usual, to find value I, first we need to know what is value K and value M. So our value K is 0.042 and our value M is 12. Then we need to divide both of this value, which will lead our answer to 0.0035. Same goes to value N. We need to know what is value M and value T. So our value M is 12 and our value T is 7. Then we need to multiply both of this value and we will get 84 as an answer. So our equation should be written like this: 61,600 equals to R 1 minus 1 plus 7 over 2,000 power of negative 84 over 7 over 2,000. And Lisa's monthly payment is 847 and 68. For the interest rate, it could be written as decimal and fraction. For this question, we will calculate Lisa's total amount of interest that was charged by the bank. We are going to use formula I equals to NR minus A. Using previous information, value N is 84, value R is 847 and 68, and value A is 61,600. So our equation will look like this: I equal to 84 multiplied by 847 and 68 and minus by 61,600, and we will get 9,605 and 12 as an answer.
Now, question 2C2. If she failed to make her first 3 monthly payments, what amount must she pay in the 4th month to fully clear the outstanding arrears? So, for this question, we will be using the future value of ordinary annuity. The number of interest period, which is N, would be 3, which is the months where Lisa has not paid her loans, plus the payment of the 4th month, since she will be paying for that month. Therefore, our annuity at the end of the investment would be S4. Then following that, it would be our periodic payment, or R, is going to be 857 ringgit and 68 cents. Then our interest rate, which is I, it would be 7 over 2,000, and our interest period, which is N, would be 4. Therefore, the total calculations would be 3,408 ringgit and 56 cents. Last but not least is question 2C3. After completing 5 years of loan payments, Lisa intends to fully settle the remaining balance, determine the amount to be paid, and the total interest incurred over the period. So, to answer this question, we will be using the present value of ordinary annuity. Since Lisa is paying 7 years worth of her loan, which is going to be 84 months, and she has settled 5 years of her loan, which is 60 months, we will just minus 84 and 60 to get 24. Therefore, it is the interest period that she has left to pay the remaining of her loans. So using the present value of ordinary annuity, our period payments is going to be 847 ringgit and 68 cents. Then we will just take our interest rate of 7 over 2,000 and then the number of interest period, which is 24. We insert these numbers into the formula and the total is going to be 19,480 ringgit and 63 cents. Then, to calculate the total interest incurred over the period, we will be using the formula of interest earned, which is I equals to N multiplied by R minus A, or interest equals to interest period multiplied by periodic payment minus principal. So 24 multiplied by 847 ringgit and 63 cents, maybe minus 19,480 ringgit and 63 cents. The total of interest earned will be 863 ringgit and 69 cents.
In 2020, Shazwan invested in unit trusts that offer a 4% compounded quarterly. After 5 years, this unit trust was valued at 7,500 ringgit. What is Shazwan's initial investment in this unit trust? In this part, we are told that the final amount of money also called the future value, which is 7,500 ringgit. The interest rate is 4% per year and the interest is compounded quarterly, which means it is added 4 times each year. Our goal is to find the original principal value, same meaning with initial investment, which is the amount of money that was originally invested. To solve this, I first determine how the interest is applied. Since the interest is compounded 4 times a year, I divide the yearly interest rate by 4. So, K equal to 4% divided by 4 give 1% interest every compounding period. Next, I calculate how many compounding periods in total. Because there are 4 periods in 1 year and the investment lasts 5 years, I multiply 4 by 5. So n equal to 20. Now using the formula directly, the future value is equal to the principal multiplied by the growth factor repeated for every compounding period. Since the final amount is already given, I work backward to find the principal. So 7,500 ringgit equal to P open bracket 1 plus 0.01% close bracket and the power of 20. Now, I move to the next question. After performing the calculation, the original amount that was invested is 6,146 ringgit 58 cents. Subsequently, Shazwan contributed an additional 5,000 ringgit into the same fund. He then consolidated the total amount and reinvested it into 2 separate investment funds. He invested 50% of this amount in Wahid Fund, which offer 4.8% compounded monthly, and other 50% in Bursa Fund, which offer 4.6% compounded semi-annually. Calculate the maturity value of each investment and the total maturity values by the end of 2030. Now, for part B, we need to consolidate the amount, which is 7,500 ringgit plus 5,000. The total investment is 12,500 ringgit. This money is split equally between 2 funds, which are the Wahid Fund and the Bursa Fund. So each fund receives 6,250 ringgit. Both funds are invested for 5 years from 2025 until 2030. However, each fund has a different compounding method and a different interest rate. So we need to calculate their maturity values separately. For the Wahid Fund, the interest is compounded 12 times per year, meaning that M equal to 12. The annual interest rate is 4.8%. To find the interest per period, I divide 4.8% by 12. This gives an interest rate of 0.004% each month. Next, I calculate how many months are in 5 years. 5 years times 12 months equals 60 compounding period. Using the same formula, S1 is equal to maturity value of Wahid Fund at the end of 2030. S equal to 6,250 open bracket 1 plus 0.004 close bracket and the power of 60. After calculating, the maturity value of the Wahid Fund at the end of 2030 is RM7,941.50. The second investment is the Versa Fund. This Versa compound interest twice a year or every 6 months. The annual interest rate is 4.6%. So, to find the interest rate for each period, I divide 4.6% by 2. This gives 0.023% interest every 6 months. Since there are 2 periods per year over 5 years, we have 10 compounding period, which is 5 years times 2. Also, using the same formula, S2 is equal to maturity value of Versa Fund at the end of 2030. S equal to 6,250, open bracket, 1 plus 0.023, close bracket, and power of 10. After calculating over this 10 period, the total maturity value of the Versa Fund is RM7,845.78. To find the full amount that investor will receive by 2030, I add the final value of the two funds, which is RM7,941.50 plus RM7,845.78. When both values are added together, the total maturity value is RM15,787.28.
For question 1B2, the question asks, among these investment funds, which offers a better deal? Explain your reason. For this question, we need to know how much is the interest for both investment funds. Firstly, we need to know that we are using formula I equal to S minus P. So for Wahid Fund, S is equal to RM7,941.50. Meanwhile, P is RM6,250, and the answer will be RM1,691.50. After we get answer for Wahid Fund, we also need to look for answer for Versa Fund using the same formula, which is I equal to S minus P, where S is RM7,845.78 and P is RM6,250, and the answer will be RM1,595.78. So, as we can see right now, Wahid Fund offer bigger interest compared to Versa Fund, and in conclusion, among these investment funds, Wahid Fund offers a better deal because it provides bigger interest compared to Versa Fund. For question 1B3, the question asks to calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2030. In this question, we also need to use formula I equal to S minus P, where S is RM15,787.28. Meanwhile, P is RM11,146.58. So the answer will be RM4,640.70.
For question 2C, upon graduating and beginning her career, Zahra plans to purchase a car priced at ringgit. She makes a 15% down payment and secures financing for the remaining amount through a bank over an 8-year term, with interest compounded monthly at a rate of 4.5%. For question C1, calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. For what we know from here, it needs to be calculated using formula of present value, which is A equal to R times 1 minus 1 plus I power of N over I. So to calculate using the formula, we need to find the value first. We already know the price of the car is 65,000 ringgit. The calculation for the down payment that she already paid first is the percentage of down payment times with original price, which is 15% times 65,000 ringgit. and the total will be 9,750 ringgit. You can see the balance here, which is 85% was the total after minus the down payment, which is 100% minus 15%. To make it easier, you can just minus the original price with the total of down payment, which will equal to 55,250 ringgit. The value of n, the formula is n equal to m times t. The value m can be found in question where it says compounded monthly, which it pays every month. The value of t, which is time, also can be found in question, which is 8-year term. Using the formula of n, 2 will be times with 8, which is equal to 96. Now we need to find value I. The formula of I is k over m, which value of k is the rate of interest, which in the question is 4.5%. We need to divide it with 100% first to find the rate, which will be 0.045%. Now substitute in formula I, which k is 0.045 over m is 12 from formula n just now. So the total will be 0.00375. After finding all the values we need, we just need to substitute in formula A just now. But here we already have value of A. We need to find the value of R, which is the monthly payment. So here where it's already substitute, which is 55,250 equal to R times 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.0375 power of negative 96 over 0.00375. Calculate, then we will got R equal to 686 ringgit 38 cents. Now we need to find total of interest charged by the bank, which is formula I equal to NR minus A. Substitute and it will be 96 times 686 ringgit 38 cents minus 55,250 ringgit. The total will be 10,642 ringgit 48 cents. For question C2, if she failed to make her first 2 monthly payment, what amount she pay in the 3rd month to fully clear the outstanding arrears? The formula here is S equal to R times bracket 1 plus I power of n minus 1 over I. The value n here will be 3 cents. We want to find amount she must pay in the 3rd month. While the value R we already calculated just now, and value I is the same with question C1. To substitute in the formula, which is equal to 686 ringgit 38 cents times bracket 1 plus 0.00375 power of 3 minus 1 over 0.0375, which the amount she must pay will be 2,066 ringgit 87 cents. Last question. After completing 6 years of loan payment, Sarah intends to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount to be paid and total accrued over the period. So total of years here is 8 years, which is from the question C just now. So she already paid for 6 years. To find value to be paid, we just need to minus total of years with the years she already paid, which is 8 minus 6 will be equal to 2. The value to be paid here is value of n, which is supposed to be in months. So we just need to times the value to be paid with 12. It will be equal to 24. Now, to find amount to be paid, we need to use formula of present value, which is the same with the question C1. Substitute and A will be equal to 686 ringgit 38 cents times 1 minus 1 plus 0.00375 power of negative 24 over 0.0375. The amount to be paid will be 15,725 ringgit 42 cents. Now we need to find total interest accrued over the period, which will be using the same formula we used in question C1. So it will be I equal to 24 times 686 ringgit 38 cents minus 15,725 ringgit 42 cents, which the total interest here will be 747 ringgit 70 cents.
Okay, today I'm going to discuss about question 2. Question 2. Sarah's parent allocated an initial principal of 10,000 ringgit into her college fund upon her birth. This fund earns 3.8% interest compounded semi-annually for 18 years. After 18 years, the entire accumulated amount will be used to fund her college education through equal withdrawals in every 6 months over a span of 5 years. Question A. Calculate the total accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years. The value of P is 10,000 ringgit, M equals to 2, I equals to 0.038 over 2 equals to 0.019, and value N equals to 2 multiplied by 18 equals to 36. So the format that we are going to use is S equals to P bracket 1 plus value I bracket power N, power value N. So S equals to 10,000 bracket 1 plus 0.019, which is the value of I, and the 10,000 is the value of P. Okay, bracket 1 plus 0.019 bracket power 36. So S is equal to 19,691 ringgit 13 cent. So the total accumulated amount is 18,691 ringgit 13 cent. That's the answer for question A. Next, for question B, find the amount that Sarah can withdraw in every 6 months from the account while she is in college. Okay, every 6 months over 5 years, total amount to be withdrawn is 19,691 ringgit 13 cent. The value of N is N equals to 2 multiplied by 5 equals to 10. So the value of N is 10. In this question, we are going to use format, which the format of A equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus value I bracket power negative N over value I bracket. So the value of A is 19,691 ringgit 13 cent equals to R, which is we don't have any value of R because we have to find the value of R in this question. Proceed. R equals to 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.019 bracket power negative 10 over 0.019 bracket equals to 2,880 ringgit 69 cent. So the amount that Sarah can withdraw in every 6 months from the account while she is in college is 2,880 ringgit 69 cent.
Hi madam, my name is Aleeya Nading. I'm from group 3.
Hi, my name is Nurain, group 3, and I'm from AM1101G.
Hello, my name is Fatin Nabilah binti I'm from group 3 and my class is AM1101G.
Hi, my name is Al-Hakim bin Nasiuddin from group 3 and class from AM1101G.
In 2020, Amir invested in a unit trust that offered a 5.4% compounded monthly. After 7 years, this unit trust was valued at 8,000 ringgit. Question A. What is Amir's initial investment in this unit trust? To answer this question, you need to use the formula A equals to P 1 plus R over N to the power of NT. As we all know, the value for A is 8,000 ringgit and for P is what we're looking for. For 84, we get it from N times T, which is compounded monthly. M equals to 12 times 7 years. So we get 84. And we solve it using calculator, using the shift solve function. That's how we get P, which is equals to 12,446 ringgit and 49 cents.
Today, I will explain the calculation for part B1, question 1. Amir added RM 5,500 to his investment and then consolidated the total amount. He reinvested this amount by splitting it equally between the two funds, which is the Wahid Fund and the Versa Fund. The Wahid Fund earns 4.2% interest compounded quarterly, while the Versa Fund earns 6% interest compounded semi-annually. To find the maturity value for each fund, we use the compound interest formula, which is S equal P bracket 1 plus R over M bracket power of bracket M times T and then bracket. And then we substitute the principal for each fund, the respective interest rate, the compounding periods, and the number of years until 2030. This gives us the maturity value for the Wahid investment and the Versa investment. Finally, we both add values to obtain the maturity amount by the end of 2030. And that's complete the explanation for part B.
For question 1B2, among these investment funds which offer a better deal, explain your reason. Versa has higher effective annual return and Amir can get a large maturity value that's 8,059 ringgit 85 cents and 7,651 ringgit 38 cents for the same principal. In summary, Versa offers a better deal. For question 1B2, among these investment funds which offer a better deal, explain your reason. Versa has higher. For this question, calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2030. Total interest earned equal to initial P plus 5,500 ringgit. How we know amount of initial P? That we can find at question 1A. That's 5,486 ringgit 49 cents plus 5,500 ringgit. That we can get 10,986 ringgit 49 cents. Next, for this.
Today, I will explain how to calculate the total accumulated amount of Nisha's college fund after 18 years. At birth, Nisha's parent invested an initial principal of 12,000 ringgit into a fund. This fund earns 4% interest per year, and the interest is compounded quarterly. Since the investment grows for 18 years, we use the compound interest formula, which is S equal P bracket 1 plus R over M, and then bracket again, power of bracket M times with T, and then bracket, where P is the initial principal of 12,000 ringgit, R is the annual interest rate of 4%, M is 4 because interest is compounded quarterly, and T is the 18-year investment period. We substitute all this value into the formula to calculate the accumulated amount of after 18 years. The answer we obtain represent the value of the fund before any withdrawals for Nisha's college education. That completes the explanation for part 1, question 2. Today, I will explain how to calculate the total accumulated amount of Nisha's college fund after 18 years. At birth, Nisha's parent invested an initial principal of 12,000 ringgit into a fund. This fund earns 4% interest per year, and the interest is compounded quarterly. Since the investment grows for 18 years.
For question 2B, find the amount that Nisha can withdraw in every 3 months from the account while she is in college. To calculate this, we use A equals to R1 minus 1 plus I to the power of F of negative N divided by I. Then we substitute the value, which is A equals to 24,565 ringgit and 19 cents. For I, we divided 0.04 divided by 4, which equals to 0.01. N is negative 24, where we get from multiplying 4 and 6. As we enter all this value into the calculator using the shift solve function, we'll get the answer, which is 1,156 ringgit and 37 cents.
Question 2C1. Calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. Nisha has to change a car. The price of the car is 80,000. She has made a 10% down payment, which is 8,000. To get 8,000, we need to times 10% with 80,000. And for the balance is 72%. And to get 72%, we need to times 90% with 80,000. To calculate the monthly payment, we are using the present value formula. I is equal to 0.036 times divide by 12. So it equal to 3 over 100. 1000. And for the M is 12. And for the N is 12. N is equal to 12 times 9. So it equal to 108. 108. 72,000 is equal to R. 1 minus 1 plus 3 over 1000 power of negative 108 divided by 3 of 3 over 1000. And R is equal to 781.48 cents. And to calculate the total amount of interest, we're using the formula of I equal to NR minus A. I is equal to 108 times 781.48 cents minus 72,000. So I is equal to RM 12,399.84 cents. Question 2C2. If she failed to make her first 2 monthly payment, what amount must she pay in third month to fully clear the outstanding areas? Amount to be paid in the third month is R equal to RM 781.48 cents. N is equal to 3. I is equal to 0.036 over 12 equal to 3 over 1000. So S3 is equal to R 1 plus I power of N minus 1 over I. So it equal to 781.48 cents. 1 plus 3 over 1000 power of 3 minus 1 over 3 over 1000. So S3 is equal to RM 2,351 ringgit 48 cents. Question 2C. Question 3. After completing 7 years of loan payment, Nisha intends to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount to be paid and the total interest incurred over the period. So, Nisha has paid for 7 years. So, N is equal to 12 times 7. So, N is equal to 84. For the unpaid, for the remaining balance is 2 years. So, to calculate the remaining balance, R is equal to RM 781.48 cents. I is equal to 0.036 over 12. So I is equal to 3 over 1000. N is equal to 108 minus 84. So N is equal to 24. The formula used is A equal to R 1 minus 1 plus I power of negative N over I. So A is equal to 781.48 cents. 1 minus 1 plus 3 over 1000 power of negative 24 over 3 over 1000. So A is 80,070 ringgit 11 cents. For the total interest incurred, total paid equal 84 ringgit times R plus balance. So it equal to 84 times 781 ringgit 48 cents plus 80,070 ringgit 11 cents. So it equal to RM 83,714.43 cents. So the interest is RM at 83,714.43 cents minus 72,000. So the interest is 11,714 ringgit 43 cents.
Question 1. In 2020, Afiq invested in a unit trust that offered a 3.8% compounded every 3 months. After 5 years, this unit trust is valued at RM 7,600. Question 1A, what is Afiq's initial investment in this unit trust? So first I take 3.8%, which is 0.038, and divided it by 4. Let's give the interest for each 3 months period, which is 0.0095. Next, I found how many times the interest is added in 5 years. 5 years multiplied by 4 times a year give 20 periods. Then I use the formula for compounded interest. Final amount equals to initial amount, bracket 1 plus interest, and bracket powered by n. So 7,600 equals to P, bracket 1 plus 0.0095, bracket powered by 20. And the answer is P equals to RM 6,290 ringgits and 53 cent. For question 1B, we want to calculate the maturity value of each investment by the end of 2032. In 2025, Afiq's original investment has grown to RM 7,600 ringgit. Then he added another RM 6,000 ringgit, given a total of RM 13,600 ringgit. He then split the amount equally into 2 funds. So each fund received RM 6,080 ringgit. 6,800 ringgits. Both funds will grow for 7 years from 2025 until the end of 2032. For Wahid fund, the interest rate is 4% per year, compounded semi-annually. That means interest is added twice a year. So the periodic rate is 0.02 and the number of periods is 14. Using the compound interest formula, the value becomes 2 to the power of 14. This gives a maturity value of RM 8,972 ringgits and 46 cents. For Versa Fund, the interest rate is 3.3% per year, compounded every 2 months. That means there are 6 periods in a year. So the periodic rate is 0.0055 and the number of periods is 42. Its value is 6,800 times 2.0055 to the power of 42. This gives RM 8,561 ringgits and 62 cents. And finally, the total maturity value at the end of 2032 is RM 17,534 ringgits and 8 cents. Question 1B2. Among these investment funds, which offer a better deal? Explain your reason. Between the two options, Wahid Fund is clearly better. After 7 years, Wahid grows to RM 8,972 ringgits and 46 cents, while Versa Fund only reached RM 8,561 ringgit and 62 cents. The reason is that Wahid has a stronger effective interest rate. When we convert both nominal rate into effective annual rate, Wahid becomes about 4.04% per year, while Versa becomes about 3.35% per year. Since both funds are invested for the same length of time, the higher effective rate leads to a higher maturity value. So overall, Wahid Fund offer a better deal for us. Last question. Question 1, B3. Calculate the total interest earned from this investment from 2020 until 2023. We start from the total investment in 2022. The initial investment was RM 6,290 ringgits and 53 cents, and we added another RM 6,000 ringgits over time. So altogether, the total investment comes to about RM 12,290 ringgits and 53 cents. By the end of 2032, the investment grows to a total maturity value of RM 17,534 ringgits and 8 cents. To get the total interest earned, we just subtract what we put in from what we get out. 17,534 ringgits and 8 cents minus 12,290 ringgits 53 cents equals to 5,243 ringgits 55 cents. So over these 12 years, the investment earned a total interest of RM 5,243 ringgits 55 cents. And how? And that's how we calculate the total interest. Simple.
Untuk question 2, kita perlu mencari the accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years. So kita perlu mencari S. So dalam S, mula-mula kita cari M, K, dan K nya tukar kepada perpuluhan dan nilai perpuluhan. So dia jadi 0.045. Kemudian kita pilih yang equation S sama dengan P 1 tambah I kuasa N. Kemudian kita kira dan dapat S nya RM17,875 dan 42 sen. Untuk B, the amount that Kamila can withdraw every 4 months from the account, maksudnya kita perlu cari R. So kita gunakan equation A sama dengan R yang dalam kurungan 1 bulan. Kemudian kita tukar nilai dan kita dapat nilai R-nya sama dengan 1638 ringgit dan 82 sen. Itu saja.
Upon graduating and beginning her career, Camilla planned to purchase a car price at RM74,000. She made a 50% down payment and secures financing for the remaining amount to a bank over a 7-year term, with interest compounded monthly at a rate of 3%, 3.6%. The question wants to find a calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. I use a formula A equal to R to find the monthly payment, and the answer when I use the A equal to R formula and calculate the answer. The monthly payment is RM 848.23. And next, total interest charge. I use formula I equal to NR minus A. And when I calculate the answer is R equal to RM 851.32 cent. Next question: if she failed to make her first full monthly payment, what amount must she pay in the 5th month to fully clear the outstanding arrears? I use formula S equal to R to find the answer. I use N equal to 4 because we want to know what amount must she pay in the 5th month fully clear the outstanding balance. And I calculate the answer. The answer is the amount to pay in the 5th month is S equal to RM 3408.22. Last question. After completing 6 years for a loan payment, Camilla intends to fully settle the remaining balance. Determine the amount to be paid and total interest incurred over the period. The question should find the present value of the remaining 12 payment. When N equal to 12, R equal to 484, R equal to 0.003. I use formula S equal to R to find the present value of the remaining 12 payment. When I calculate the question, I find the question S equal to RM. Then next, we want to find the I, total paid interest. So I use 72 month to find the I. 72 month become to, when I multiply to 12 months, so equal to 72 months. So where I calculate the answer is RM 61072.56. So total paid interest is 61072.56 plus 10348.40 minus 62900. So the last answer is interest. For interest is RM 858520.996.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we will be presenting our group assignment for MAT112. Before we dive into the questions, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Normahirah Jan binti James, student ID 2025884328.
My name is Nabeeha Zahra binti Azman. My student ID is 2025899864.
My name is Dayang student ID 20258875542.
Question 1. In 2020, Adri invested in a unit trust that offered a 4.4% compounded quarterly. After 6 years, this unit trust was valued at 9,000 ringgit and 9,500 ringgit. A. What is Adri's initial investment in this unit trust? So first of all, we have to find the information which is M equals to 4, T equals to 6, K equals to 0.044. Then we have to find I equals to 0.044 divided by 4 equals to 0.011, and N equals to 4 times 6 which equals to 24. With the info that has been received, we have to substitute the information into the formula, which is S equals to P bracket 1 plus I to the power of N. S is 9,500 equals to P bracket 1 plus I is 0.011 to the power of N, which is 24. So the answer for P is 7,306 ringgit and 27 cents.
Question B1. Calculate the maturity value of each investment and the total maturity values by the end of 2030. Now we will calculate the maturity value of Wahid funds. The formula used is S equal to P bracket 1 plus I to the power of N. To find P, I added 9,500 and 7,000 and divided it into 2, which I got 8,250. So 8,250 bracket 1 plus 1.1 to the power of 40 equals to 12,283.12 ringgit Malaysia. And then we will use the same steps for finding the maturity value of Versa fund. So when we added maturity value of Wahid funds and Versa funds, it equals to RM 25,283.82 cent. Now we are moving to question B2. Among these investments funds, which offers a better deal? Versa fund offers better deal because its effective annual interest rate, which is 4.6% higher compared to Wahid's 4.0%. Lastly, for question B3, calculate the total interest earned from these investments from 2020 until 2030. We will use formula I equal to S minus P. I equal 25,283.82 cent minus 16,500 equals to RM 8,783.82 cent.
For question 2, Shahana's parents allocated an initial principal of 11,000 ringgit into her college fund upon her birth. This fund earns 4.2% interest compounded semi-annually for 18 years. After 18 years, the entire accumulated amount will be used to fund her college education through equal withdrawals in every 6 months over a span of 5 years. A. Calculate the total accumulated amount of the fund after 18 years, and B. Find the amount that Shahana can withdraw in every 6 months from the account while she is in college. For A, we have to find M, which is 2, T is 18, K equals to 0.04. For I, 0.042 divided by 2 equals to 0.021. For N, 2 times 18 equals to 36. So we have to use the formula, just A equals to 11,000 bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.021 to the power of negative 36 over 0.021, which is 275,926 ringgit 56 cents. For B, we use the same value, except for T we have to use 5 years. So the N will be 2 times 5 equals to 10. To find the amount, 275,926 ringgit and 56 cents equals to R bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus I to the power negative 10 bracket over 0.021. So the amount is 30,878 ringgit and 89 cents.
For question C, upon graduating and beginning her career, Shana planned to purchase a car priced at 80,000 ringgit. She makes a 30% down payment and secures financing for the remaining amount through a bank over an 8-year term with interest compounded monthly at a rate of 3.6%. For question C, Roman 1, calculate the monthly payment and the total amount of interest charged by the bank. The equation is 69,600 equal to R, which is periodic payment, bracket 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.003 brackets to the power of negative 69 over 0.003. R is equal to 835 ringgit 48 cent. To calculate the interest, I, which is interest, equal to 69 brackets to 835 ringgit and 48 cent bracket minus 69,600. I is equal to RM 10,606 ringgit 8 cent. Next, for the question C, Roman 2, if she failed to make her first 2 monthly payment, what amount must she pay in the 3rd month to fully clear the outstanding arrears? The equation is future value equal to 835 ringgit 48 cent multiplied by brackets 1 plus 0.003 brackets to the power of 3 minus 1 over 0.003, which is equal to RM 2,530 ringgit 97 cent. Next, for the question C, Roman 3, after completing 6 years of loan payment, Shahna intends to fully settle the remaining balance, determine the amount to be paid and total interest incurred over the period. For this equation, present value of an annuity equal to 835 ringgit 48 cent multiplied by 1 minus bracket 1 plus 0.003 brackets to the power of negative 24 over 0.003, which is equal to RM 19,318 ringgit 75 cent. That's all for our group assignment. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to our group presentation, with today being a presentation of MAT112's group assignments answers. In this presentation, there will be 2 questions that are needed to be explained. For question 1, it will be presented by me, Aleeya bin Mohammad. Meanwhile, for question 2, it will be presented by my 2 other groupmates. For question 1, there are 2 main parts, part A and part B. Part B is divided into 3 more different parts. Now let's start with part A. Part A, we want to know what is Firdaus's initial investment in this unit trust. Now we do know that after 8 years, this unit trust was valued at 9,400 ringgit. Now this is with an annual interest rate of 5.4% and it is compounded every 2 months, which means M would equal to 6. We use the present value formula, which is PV equaling to FV over 1 plus K over M to the power of MT. We just substitute the data into the formula and we would get PV approximately equaling to 6,114 ringgit and 37 cents. So 6,114 ringgit and 37 cents was Firdaus's initial investment. Now we move on to part B for additional investment. Now in the year 2028, Firdaus adds 5,000 ringgit to his existing 9,400 ringgit. So the total reinvested amount would be 14,400 ringgit. He then would split this into 2 equal parts, into 7,200 ringgit. Now this is per fund. Now 7,200 ringgit will be invested for 4 years, from the year 2028 till 2032 for each fund. Now let's start with calculating for the Wahid fund first. Now the Wahid fund, it has an interest rate of 4.2%, with it being compounded quarterly, meaning M would equal to 4. After we calculate all of it, we would get the Wahid fund approximately equaling to 8,509 ringgit and 69 cents. Now for the Versa fund, it has an interest rate of 6%, with the M being 3. Now we just calculate and we would get the Versa fund approximately equaling to 9,131 ringgit and 34 cents. Now, what we want to know is the total maturity value. Now, to find the total maturity value, we just have to add the Wahid fund and the Versa fund, and we would get 17,641 ringgit and 3 cents. So 17,641 ringgit and 3 cents would be the total amount in the year 2032. Now, we want to know which fund is better. Now, to know which fund is better, we would compare it using EAR, or effective annual rate. Now, for the Wahid fund, the EAR would be 4.266%. For the Versa fund, we would get 6.121%. Now, clearly, Versa fund gives a better deal because it offers a higher EAR and a higher maturity value. Now, we want to know what the total interest earned would be. Now, first, we calculate the total invested, which would be 6,140 ringgit and 37 cents, plus the additional investment, which is 5,000. We would get 11,140 ringgit and 37 cents. Now, for the final value in the year 2032, we have 17,641 ringgit and 3 cents. Now, for the total interest earned, we just minus the final value in the year 2032. We minus it with the total invested, and we would get 6,526 ringgit and 66 cents, which means Firdaus earns 6,526 ringgit and 66 cents in interest over the 12-year period. That's all for question 1. Thank you.
So today I will discuss about question 2. Question 2 is divided by 3 parts, that is A, B and C. So I will discuss about question A and question B. For question A, I'm using the compound interest formula, which is S equal to P bracket 1 plus I to the power of N. So the value of P is 11,000. For the value of I is 1 over 125, or we can say it's 0.008. For the for N, it is 72. So I substitute the value into the formula, which is S equal to 11,000 bracket 1 plus 1 over 125 to the power of 75. So we'll get the answer is S equal to 19,522.20 cents. So question B, for part B, I'm using the future value of an annuity formula to find the regular payment R. So the formula is S equal to R bracket 1 bracket 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 divided by I. So we have found the S value, which is from the part A, 19,522.22 cents. For the interest rates also we have found in part A, which is 1 over 1 to 5 or 0.008. And for this question, the n is not the same. So how to find n? N is equal to m times t. So n is equal to 5, 3 over 12 times 4. So the n is 21. Next, substitute all the value into the formula. Next, I calculate all of them in this bracket using solve function. So the required regular payment is R equal to 857.47 cents.
Today I will explain the calculation for part C. Part C are provided at 3 parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. We start with loan is 98,1,000 and pay it for 10 years, and we must to pay it 12 times, which means monthly. So the interest rate are given at 3.6%, and so the monthly rate is 3 over 1,000. So after that we need to find the n. The n is m times t, so the answer is 96. Using the annuity formula, we put the numbers and we substitute the balance as the amount to be repaid and solve for the r. And the final answer is 718.32 cents. For the next part, we have given she already have 3 areas, and using the same formula, but the n is changed into 3 because 3 is assumed for the 3 months. After we calculate using the solve function, we already get the answer 2161.43. Okay, for the next part, we already know that she already paid for 7 years and the balance is 1 year. So there are 12 months left. So we calculate the present value of the remaining payments. We are using the same formula and only change the n into 12 because only balance 1 year. And we get the final answer is 8454.08. This is the amount or the balance that she must pay. So right now we need to find how much she has done to pay it. We using the I equal to Rn, and after that we get the answer is 60338.88. So right now we need to find how much or amount that she must pay. So we must to plus these two amount, and we get the answer is 68792.96. After that we must to find the total interest. For the total interest, we need to minus the amount that she must pay into the balance that she borrows. After we calculate it, we get the answer is 8952.96.